First and foremost, I want to thank our principal, Mr. Ray Gordon. Please stand. We're really excited. We feel truly blessed to have Mr. Gordon here leading our campus. He's in his first year at Seguin, like myself, and we are truly honored by his vision and his commitment to excellence for all of our students and student athletes. It is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to follow the leadership of a man that has such great character and integrity. And those are the same values that we look to follow and impart in so many of our young men today. We're really excited. We've got a nice program together for you all today. We should be able to get in and get out. We're going to try not to keep it too long. I know sometimes banquets can drag on, but we hope you guys will see the efforts and the energy of so many people that have a hand in making this thing what it is tonight. How about a round of applause for our booster club and put this group together? At this time, if you are part of our booster club and you work diligently around the clock throughout the year to make this possible, would you please stand and be recognized? As you can see, we're small in numbers, much like our school and our booster club. There's nothing small about their heart and their commitment when it comes to our children. We understand that it takes a village to raise the children of today. And I could not be more excited and more thankful to be surrounded by so many committed individuals who have made it a priority to our students and their overall success on and off the field. We'll begin our program today with special thanks to some very, very important people who have really contributed above and beyond the call. And so at this time, I'm going to ask our booster club, Ms. Amy Gavigan, if she will come up and introduce those patrons.
Y'all doing all right? So we'd like to take a moment to recognize some special patrons that have given us some generous donations and a lot of time towards our boys in our football program. So Anthony and Margie, welcome to you come up. And Esther and Rodrigo Gregorio. Marja, can you come up too, please? These families and these people have given generous donations and lots of long hours towards our football club, and we'd like to recognize them for that. So let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you.
We want to recognize not only those young men who contribute so much on a daily basis. When I begin to think about some of these awards and some of the awards we're about to offer, I know our coaching staff had a very, very difficult time deciding and finalizing who the recipients of these awards would be. Primarily because every young man in our program, at some point in time throughout the season, has showcased unmatched commitment, desire, and all the things that we ask them to work at on a daily. And so it made it really, really tough to find the one young man that will be the recipient of these excellence awards that we have for us tonight. But I want you to know something. Every young man here is deserving. And when I say that to all the young men that will receive it and the ones who do not receive it. I want you to know that you and your efforts and everything that you've done to contribute to your team and the overall success of our program does not go unnoticed. At no point in time is it taken for granted. And so what we want you to learn to do, and it's part of life, is learn to celebrate the success. Celebrate the positive things that are happening, not only for you, but for those around you. We believe here at Seguin, when we talk about our football family, who we're going to highlight tonight, we say it on a daily, what family really is. Because we're about to celebrate some of our family members. When we talk about family, it simply stands for, forget about me, I love you more. That's family. So as we look at these awards on tonight, we'd ask that you all would keep that in mind. We're celebrating the success of our family. And when we say we're going to do something here at Seguin, I I ask them a question, they respond in a certain way. And I'll let you check it out. Cougars, how we gonna do it?
Together.
How we gonna do it?
Together.
That's how we do it. So as we recognize as individuals, understand that as a team, as a football family, we are truly together. So without that being said, what I'm going to do now is call up all of our freshmen. If you're part of our freshman football team, if you would stand at this time and make your way to the stage on this side. All of this time, I'd like to introduce our head freshman football coach, Coach James Dumont. Please give him a hand.
Pull up my notes here. I tried to talk Coach Gordon into doing this in April. My pants were a little snug when I dug them out of the closet. First, I'd like to thank our principal, Mr. Gordon. I'd like to thank Arlington athletic directors, Coach Gordon, my freshman staff. They did an outstanding job of helping all year long. Staff was top notch. The knowledge, the energy, the care, compassion for your kids. Your kids are in good hands when they come here to Seguin. We're on them on the daily, grades, everything. And speaking of, I know scholarship is kind of a big word that's thrown around nowadays. Parents and kids, you should know, I looked this up on the internet about 2 hours ago. For every $1 they have in athletic scholarships, they have $300 in academic scholarships. So that's something to keep in mind. I would like to thank the parents, you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a job. This is what we do. You guys do an outstanding job. Seguin, the kids are polite here. They're great to be around. The kids are amazing. They truly are. I'd like to thank my wife and kids. They're not here. The 2 4-year-olds, Arlington wasn't ready for that. And neither was this building. But can't go without thanking her. Every group has an identity, all right? And this group's identity was their workability and their ability to listen. This group was extremely coachable, and that is a noble quality. It's rare in certain districts and certain schools, but here at Seguin, it's the norm. This group of kids was outstanding in the way they presented themselves on a daily basis. We never had any resistance. They always did what was asked. They were always eager to get on the field and practice and get better. The commitment to play football at the freshman level, in August, you take that thermometer and you put it out there on that turf, it's going to read about 130 degrees. And these kids are waking up at 6 in the morning lifting weights. They are sacrificing, they truly are. Not anybody can play football here in Texas. You have to have a level of commitment and work ethic that sets you apart from everyone else, and this group had that. As we started our season, we improved each week. We started out really hot. This group got better and better as the season rolled around. At the freshman level, it's really more about fundamentals and blocking, catching, how to run, how to get in your stance, and things of that nature. We're trying to get them, mold them on how to do the right thing. And this group, we started out really hot against Bryan Adams, blew them out. We were 4-1. As we kept on rolling along, our offense started clicking, our defense started picking up reads, and that's what it's about, at this level. This group did a really outstanding job of gelling and ginning together. The way this group came together was phenomenal, and that, to me, that's what makes them special. Without further ado, first of all, I'd like everyone to give all of these freshmen a hand because they truly do deserve it. All right, we're going to hand out the player awards now. The first award, we're going to start out with the big one. This is the team MVP. All right, the team MVP coaches, other coaches from other districts. We all had to kind of get together, and we had to pick one guy, which is tough when you got a lot to choose from. When you have a group like this that is coachable the way they are, the way these guys listen, the way they present themselves on the field, it's tough. But we had to ask ourselves, who was the best player that made the most impact on our field? And I have the pleasure of teaching this young man in the classroom, and I have the pleasure of coaching him. His name is Jalen March. This next award is a heart award, special teams. In particular, kickoff. Anyone that will run down that field and knock someone's head off, all play after play, and give that kind of effort. And this guy, we clocked him. He was first many times and never shorted us on effort, not one single time. Jalen Moss, please come accept your award. Next young man is the heart and soul of our defense. You have to have a quarterback on defense, and it's your linebacker. This guy was a leader vocally, who was a leader by example. This young man is a physical specimen in the weight room. He puts the work in. A student, straight A's, Jakari Bowie. This next award is called Never Give Up. This is your first guy to practice, your last one to leave, never ever skips out on lifting weights or running, gassers, and doing the grunt work that many skip out on and many don't make. Well, most do, but going the extra mile, more than others, okay? Always have the positive attitude. Alec Gavigan, please be there. Also, in the same category, this guy had a 100% attendance in practices and games. Again, first one there, last one to leave. Running back, we gave him an opportunity late in the season, made me look like a fool. Should have been given opportunities earlier in the year. Jaden Garrett. This next award goes to the unsung hero. This is the kid on the team that is the #1 primary hardest worker on your team. This guy is a weight room fanatic. Straight A student again. Always involved in many activities. Choir, band, you name it, he bleeds Seguin blue and blue. Outstanding young man, Nathaniel Wynn. This next award, this young man is probably the most coachable young man I've had in my 5 years here at Seguin. I also had the pleasure of teaching this young man in the classroom and coaching him as well. Outstanding young man, wonderful, heady kid, kind of like a coach on the field. This guy would put him out there and I would say, hey, what are they doing? They're in cover 2, coach. They're bringing the outside linebacker. They're bringing the will. I mean, it's literally, he would tell me exactly what I needed to know. It's called the perfect play. Xavier Gordon, offensive MVP. Thank you for the time. We're going to now call the JV team up. Coach Real, and present them players with awards. Please give Coach Real a round of applause.
All right, y'all hear me out there? All right, so CrossFit Games 2021. All right, that's when I'll be 40, and that's when I'm going to make the Masters of it. So let's put that 2021. It's probably not going to have ESPN, and we're not that good, but okay. Appreciate y'all coming out tonight. I have to do mine on my phone, y'all know how that goes nowadays. Y'all go to church, right? Our pastor uses the iPad now. First off, I want to thank our coaches, Coach Wall, Coach Bruder, Coach Suter, Coach Coach Chapman, Coach Strickland. I'm not real good at standing right behind this, so if I get off these, let me know. But I appreciate the work that these guys put in. Thank you, players, for their hard work. Parents, okay, thank you guys for allowing us the opportunity to work with your young man and trusting us with them, okay, and trusting us to instill skills related to not just football but life, okay, and beyond, because we all know at some point this game ends, and 99% of the time we do not get to decide when that is. So we've got to be prepared when it does happen. All right, football. Okay, football in many ways. Okay, it's one of the best life lesson teachers out there. All right, we spend countless hours of time in preparation, from the off season to summer workouts to fall camp to weekly practices. Okay, this time it gets repetitive. It seems to drag on, but during this time, we can see their level of commitment. Okay, we can see the establishment of the discipline, and we can see where the sacrifices that they make can be measured. Okay, I've said it before to the older guys. You gotta love the grind. All right, you have to love the grind. The grind is doing that stuff that you don't really feel like doing, but the grind is what separates who wins and who loses. And I tell the guys too, we don't win on Monday, we don't win on Tuesday, we don't win on Friday, Thursday, whatever day we play. You win in March, you win in April, you win in May, you win in June, July. Okay, by the time you show up on Thursday or Friday night, that outcome has already been decided by what you've done, what you put in. Okay? This season was the season of change. A lot of things. We had new football facilities, which are fantastic. I had an opportunity to check them out. Come on down to the MAC. It's a great facility. These young guys are getting spoiled, freshmen, right? They never had to deal with that old locker room. They never had to deal with always out on that grass, on that turf, on that field, right? It may be level, it may not be level, who knows? Okay. A new principal, Mr. Gordon coming in, new head football coach. And with this time for change, things are different, right? There's different expectations, different time commitments, different things that we have to do. All right. Through it all, though, these guys, they've been there. All right. They've exhibited great resilience, and this resilience and their ability to adapt and make these changes seamlessly is what's going to carry them to be successful in their life, right? Post-football. Okay? The goal for these guys, for me, and I'm sure for a lot of our coaches, is to build, when they leave here, they become good employees, right? They become good husbands. They become good fathers. They become good men. Okay? Notice we didn't say anything about football players. Okay? The best thing for us is when these guys come back 5, 10 years down the road, right? Hey, I'm still doing so-and-so, I'm working, this is my wife, this is my son. That's what we love to see. Okay? When those guys come back and they're proud of who they've turned into, and they can look back and point out at something that, this game and us gave them. Okay? That's our goal, right? And what gives us this platform to be able to do that is this game of football, right? And we all love it. Okay? We all love it. I guarantee all of these coaches, if we could still do it, we'd still do it. Remember I said that most of the time we don't make that decision about any of it, right? So I still wish I could play. I'm sure all these guys wish they could play. But, we get to watch these guys in the hope of these young men grow into men of integrity, men of honor, men of character. All right? And we all thank you, all of us coaches thank you for giving us that gift to be able to instill those things in there. So I appreciate y'all very much. All right? All right, enough of that. Right? Let's get on to some awards here. All right? I'm going to go a little bit different in terms of my order, but a JV team. Okay? Our JV team is a little bit different from the freshman and the varsity team, and I say that, and you're going to sit there and say, why? What do you mean? Well, typically as freshmen, you try to keep those guys together, right? You're going to develop a chemistry. You've got guys coming in from different areas, get to know each other, get to play with each other, get to develop, learn each other. Okay, varsity group, right? Hey, Friday nights, that's what it's all about. It's a mix of guys, okay? The JV group, you may be called upon to join that varsity group at any point during the season, okay? Or you may be a sophomore and you're playing on the varsity, right? So it's a little bit different than everything else, but that's not to say that we don't put as much emphasis or we don't care or do as much with those guys. Okay? And that's not to say that they don't put in the amount of time, the amount of effort, and everything that everyone else does. Because trust me, they do. Right? So for recognition, our exemplaries, the first thing we're recognizing is special teams. We did not really get to practice special teams a whole lot. Due to time schedules and everything, it's not always easy. But, this guy, he helped us out. He enabled us to be able to do some things that we weren't really sure we were going to be able to do. Maybe we were struggling a little bit. He helped us out on that, so I want to give this guy a shout out here with this award, Andy Torres. Andy had a little issue with football last week. Offensive MVPs, right? Offense is always kind of a special place in my heart. Former quarterback. Love the offensive game, love being able to do different things, different schemes. And I'm going to recognize two guys. Okay, these two guys, this year were both new to the program. Okay, both of these guys, competed every day. All right, both of these guys are, guys that want to learn. All right, they want to have meetings, they want to have conversations, they want to learn what can we do to get better. Okay. We're talking about a scheme or a system. They want to know, okay, well, why do we do that? And these guys, I asked them at the beginning of the year, I said, hey, I want you guys to be competitive, but at the same time, I want you to, support one another. And they did that. Right? Tried to split reps with these guys about 50-50. They knew, hey, if somebody's hot, we're going to roll with them a little bit. If somebody's not hot, we're going to yank you a little bit. Right? But both of these guys responded. I think overall they accounted for 13 touchdowns. I believe it was 8 touchdown runs and 5 touchdown passes. Both quarterbacks, Dante Cheney and Amari Milton. Defensive MVP, another guy that was new. This is going to be kind of a recurring theme for what we've got here. So another guy that was new. So this guy, he came in the spring, okay, worked hard in the spring, okay, and just carried that into the summer, carried that into this fall. Playing a position that I'm not sure was necessarily one that he was used to playing, but you know what, he answered the call, he responded, he made plays for us. At times, we asked him to play some on offense, and I know that was something that he wasn't necessarily ready to do. So, for him to be able to do that, burn that, expend that energy, but yet still go out there and play hard defense, be our team leader on defense, Austin Cobb. Kind of like Coach Dumont talked about a little bit earlier, some guys, hey, let's face it, some people are going to get the recognition. Okay? We understand it's a team game, but whether in the NFL, the NCAA, you've got the MVP, you've got the Heisman, there are guys that are going to get recognized because they're playmakers, they make plays, they allow you to win football games. And this guy did that for us. Okay? He allowed us to do some things offensively, right, and helped us tremendously defensively, but particularly with me, remember I'm an offensive guy. Right? This is a guy that I can go over something at practice, or if we're on the sidelines, I can draw up a different scheme. I played this guy as a slot receiver, an outside receiver. I played him as a running back. I played him as an H-back. I don't think I lined him up at quarterback because I had 2 good ones there. But he made plays for us. He responded whenever we gave him the football. He missed a couple games due to injury, and you could tell. Right? We were not the same team offensively when this guy was not in there. Okay? This guy, Tavon Sanford. This guy, another new guy. He came in and he was a basketball guy. He thought he was a baller. Hoop dreams, right? Everybody's seen that movie. Okay. Well, the problem with him is he's not very big. Okay. So, but he came out there every day. He got after it. He's continued to get after it. He works hard in the weight room. Okay. He works hard when we're doing conditioning. I think he's an excellent singer too. I'm not sure. No, he's an orchestra. Okay. He's a great musician. But this guy, he gets after it. Wish he wouldn't have waited until his sophomore year to come and play, right? But, you know, he's here now. We're glad to have him. He's going to keep getting better over these next 2 years. Seguin Cougar. This guy, basically, I'm not sure he really came off the field. Okay, we didn't have a whole lot of numbers, as Coach Gordon has talked about, and particularly when you're dealing with that the JV level, like I said, it's a different animal, right? So you may lose a guy this week or whatever it may be. So we had a lot of guys have to play a lot of minutes, a lot of snaps. Okay, and this guy had to play, I think, basically every snap. Okay, played for us at linebacker. Right, he come off on the sideline and say, "Hey man, you got to be ready to go. We got the ball." Right. You know, so we get over there, get a swig of water, comes out there, playing some offensive line for us. All right. And he did it all throughout the whole year. Okay. I know it wasn't easy, right? Particularly in the early games when it's hot. But this guy gave great effort all year long. He's continued to do that this offseason. We're looking forward to what he's going to be able to do for us on the next level for the next 2 years. Alex Reeder.
Is a young man that I have a great deal of admiration for. He's a solid husband. He's a great father. He's an unbelievable educator. He's been coined and labeled the teacher of the year. Coach Groves. Y'all can see it like, man, I didn't think I'd get emotional. I ain't that type of dude. Alright, but yeah, seriously though, I just want to thank the parents first and foremost, because again, it takes a lot really to trust that the coaching staff and that these people have your best interest in heart when they're coming up with these kids and being around them. And thank you so much for that, first and foremost. Thank you, parents. Secondly, and I don't want to sound corny on this, but man, baby, I don't get a chance to tell you about it in front of people, and I want to be the first one to say thank you to my queen for allowing me to do my job. With that out the way, honestly, man, this year was really, really great. And I'm hoping that the opportunity for these young men to see how I'm trying to live, because that's what God told me. If I need to do better, so y'all see me doing right. Versus what I say. And I want y'all to understand what it means. I'm going to tell you that I'm Seguin doing through. I've been here 6 years, and man, this is how I think about it. And I want to see y'all be successful. And for all you seniors, this year was so pivotal for y'all that y'all learned a lot about life. It was something I was just thinking about that we did, and I apologize, I don't have a speech, I speak from the heart, y'all know I like to talk a lot, so, but we had something we worked on at the beginning of the year, when we talked about this team, and it's one word or acronym that comes to mind when we talk about this team, and it's called Cougs. Now everybody hear us say that, what's up, Cougs? What's up, Cougs? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what Cougs is, but I really didn't talk to y'all about what that stands for, like, what that really means. And so I'm going to go over real quick so y'all all understand what that means. Number one, that's C. The C stands for committed. And this is what I was thinking about this team. For us to get where we're going to go and where we want to be, we have to be committed. Not just committed to the game of football, to the game of life. And committed to our grades, committed to our families, committed to those things. And I think that they started that this year. I think a lot of them had to fight through it. Not having the coaching time to get what they wanted to, they had to be committed without seeing it. And that faith part plays a big part in it. And you guys demonstrated commitment this year. And I'm proud of that. I mean, you could have easily just laid down and quit. You didn't. You committed to want to be successful. And it wasn't about no scholarship. It was about us as Seguin Cougars and being proud of your environment, your community. So I'm proud of y'all for that. So the C is for commitment. And y'all demonstrated that. The O stands for outstanding. Outstanding. And when I say outstanding, I'm not talking about just performance on the field, but outstanding in everything you do. Outstanding is a frame of mind. It's a way you go about doing things. Like I'm doing it, they know I talk about this all the time. We compete in everything. If we doing something, I say, okay, I bet y'all talking about shoot better than passing. That's outstanding. That's the mindset, right? Like I want to be outstanding. I want people looking like, man, you on. That's the idea, right? But that's what we talk about in the football program. I want y'all to be outstanding. And I'm telling you that this football thing, you're going to carry on to life, being outstanding in everything you do. Don't just be happy with doing part of it. Try to be outstanding in everything you do. And you did that this year. I thought we demonstrated that this year. The U was probably, I would say, the hardest part, not for the fellas, but for us as a whole. And the U stands for unified. Unified. Now, there's no doubt that y'all was always unified, but I think it took some time, some trust, to gain trust in our new leader and our new vision. We were unified together, and that was one thing we used to have, y'all don't know, man, we'd be upstairs, we'd close the door, we have an hour meeting just talking, like, what we gonna do, Coach? Like, this is the plan, where we going, where we headed. But you have to have the conversations to get where you want to go. And they were unified, and we were unified, coaches, staff, players. And y'all saw by the end of the year, when it all started coming together, y'all was like, okay, that's what it's supposed to be like. And it was a demonstration of that. We're unified. And I feel like this team became unified. And y'all trusted each other, and y'all played for each other. And that was big, and we were unified. And that signifies this team. Gritty. That's what the T stands for, gritty. I mean, being able to do all the little stuff. When people not watching, when people not looking, are you gritty? Are you tough? Can you handle it? Can you handle the little nicks and little bangs and little injuries, little things that hurt on you? Can you fight through and be gritty and get through it? Because that carries over into life. And that's what you have to do. Sometimes you don't feel like getting up. Some of y'all up this morning, 6:30 a.m. we had the track meet this morning. Then went out there, ran, hurt a little bit, come back, come to this. That's gritty. And they would fight through and finish. And y'all demonstrated that this year. Through it all, through the injuries, through the pain, all of those things. Gritty. And then the last word, or the last letter, stands for soldiers. Soldiers. Now, I know a lot of people use that term loosely, but to me, a soldier is important because a soldier is somebody who fights for a cause. A soldier willing to lay down his life for the betterment of somebody else. And that's what y'all demonstrated this year. Y'all were soldiers once again, soldiers for each other. And that was important. The S stands for soldiers. And I'm glad that y'all were able to show what all these letters mean, because that's what I want you, JV and freshmen, to understand. When I say what's up, cool, that's what I'm talking about. Committed, outstanding, unified, gritty, soldier. That's what we are. And we're proud of that. And I'm proud of y'all. So we're going to get started with the awards and we have coming up. And we're going to start off with the first one. And this one is a big one. This one is the one I'm really, really proud of. This guy, man, I've been knowing him for a long time. I had him in the classroom, and he know I was on him. I was on him because I feel like I'm a teacher first, then a coach. So he's a student first, then athlete. And man, we'd be in the classroom, like, come on, man, you got to write, you got to do this. And it wasn't that he couldn't do it because he'd turn around and get a 90 on his head. Like, Coach, no, it's easy. I know, you got to go through the work. But anyway, this kid demonstrated so much on the field this year. I'm talking about anything that I asked him to do, he could be able to do. Technique-wise, being sound. And not only that, he was able to make a lot of plays. He scored a lot more touchdowns than some of the people on offense. That's how good he was. And so he made a lot of big plays and a lot of standing out. And people knew who he was by the end of the year. And so our defensive MVP, I want to give it to Nolan Daniels. This guy played football as a freshman. You've probably seen his story on NBC News and know a little bit about him. But this guy means a lot to me because I'm a defensive coach and I paid him as a defensive player. So he was my lockdown corner as a freshman. But, you know, as time went on and he left the game and came back, he started wanting to do other things. And as a coaching staff, I know Coach Suter brought it up. You know, we're looking for quarterbacks going through it. I'm like, man, he played baseball. He probably can throw. And Coach Suter, I can get him there. So we talked about it, and that's what happened. And he came out, man, he made a lot of plays in a short amount of time, the growth. Even to the point, as you guys know, he's getting offered money or a scholarship to play football at the next level, which is a great thing. And I'm really proud of him. Really, really strong individual, hard worker, does everything right, and the future's bright for him. Offensive MVP, George Herrera. I'm being honest, I don't want y'all to get your feelings, but man, this dude to me has been probably one of the better athletes I've been around in a long, long time. He's fast, athletic, can jump, he can do everything athletically that you could ask. And not only that, he's what we call, he's the definition of gritty. He's gonna fight through, he's gonna bang, he's gonna do everything I ask him to. And not only that, he can play offense, he can play defense. He scored touchdowns last year on varsity. He's able to score on special teams this year. This guy is an athlete, man, and he's one of my favorite players. Give a round of applause for our special teams MVP, Marcus Johnson. The next award is called our Never Give Up Award. And as you heard from the freshmen and the JV staff and team, the Never Give Up Award is exactly as it sounds, somebody who doesn't stop, who doesn't give up. And both of these guys that are presented with this award experienced a little bit of an injury this year and had to fight through and never gave up on the team, never stopped coming, never stopped being around, always being positive. The first one, and before you get around the call, I'm going to say their name because I want to be acknowledged, but Terrell Haynes. I mean, this guy was a Division I athlete, as you guys know, hard worker, did everything we asked, offense, defense, and just, one of those fluke things that happens in football, and he got a little banged up, but he never stopped. And by the time we got to the last game, he's like, Coach, I'm ready. I'm like, man, I'm glad I get you a few plays, just a little. And he came out and made a lot of plays, and I'm proud of him. The second one is Keandre Paxton. And this guy, man, again, probably one of the smartest football players I've ever been around. One of the guys that kind of like Coach talked about earlier, he comes to the sideline, Coach, they bring this down, they're spilling over here, and the ball's bouncing. I'm supposed to scrape on top, I'm going to eat, going to do this, and I'm like, okay, calm down, you don't get it. But he was one of those guys, man, very, very intelligent, and has the mind to do whatever he wants in life and in football, and he never gave up. He's out there playing with his arm in the sling, and I just look at Keith, you make, I'm all right, Coach, man, don't let me go here, Coach. And I'm so proud of him, man. Tough guy, man. Gritty, all those things. So can you give a round of applause to Terrell Haynes and Keandre Paxton? Probably one of the best awards out because this guy, sometimes you don't know that he's there or you may not acknowledge all the things he has to go through. But this guy is playing a position where most people at his position are usually around 250 to 300 pounds. And he probably, if I was to guess, probably weighs about 160, maybe 170, maybe. But you could never tell. And we didn't miss a beat with him in there. He fought, did everything we asked, played any position we asked, and was very, very effective at what he does. And I'm proud of him for not giving up and being that guy that works hard and maybe not getting acknowledged, not getting a pat on the back from the people outside of the team. All these guys know about him, but sometimes the people from the outside don't know. So I want to make sure I give him a round of applause to Gabriel Melcher. Again, this guy, call him my nephew. I have about 6 or 7, all of them really my nephew. I have about 6 or 7 nephews because they hang with my nephew all the time. But this is one of my nephews. I'm so proud of this young man. He's making a switch to inside linebacker this year, but this past year he played outside linebacker, going up against tackles and taking on blocks and battling all year round, being physical at a position that he's asked to be a little bit more physical with. And I'm proud of him doing that. And a lot of times I didn't necessarily pat him on the back for doing things, but I want to do so now. This guy's a hard worker, does everything I ask, and the future's bright for him as well. Probably going to play football at the next level. And my unsung hero award here goes to Maurice Akello. It's going to be our team MVP. Team MVP. And of course, that just stands for most valuable player. And in this instance, it doesn't necessarily mean the best player. This means the type of player that we probably couldn't do the things we did without this player. To me, this guy is the heart of our football team. He's the pulse of our football team. And he carried it in every day. When we're in practice, we're having a bad day, I'm going to have to yell at him to get everybody going. And once he gets mad, then the practice picks up on the defensive side. And that's the way he is. He carries that around with him. And he has a big heart, hard worker. He's going to be playing football at the next level. He's our team MVP, dominated inside. He was so good to the point I've had coaches come up, man, where is he going? Why is he so good? I thought I had an all district center, and he had him in the backfield. I'm looking for somebody else now. Like, I mean, He's messing up other kids' careers, but this kid really played, man. I'm so proud of him. Strong inside. Team MVP, Timmy Akinwumi. We're going to highlight some of our student athletes that led it. When I arrived here, it was brought to my attention that so many young men who are so well deserving, who have given so much, they didn't quite get the opportunity to get that letter jacket that so many high school athletes really look forward to getting. There's something about having that kind of solidifies the fraternity that you're forever a part of. And it continues to remind you when you wear it, years after you left the program, where you started and how you got there. And so it was really important not only to myself, to our coaching staff, and to our booster club. Once we shared with our booster club how many of our student athletes had not received letter jackets, and I think that it was one that lit a fire under some of the parents that you recognized earlier. They went to work. They went to work calling on different sponsors, different companies. Our kids went to work and a host of different types of fundraisers to make sure that it didn't happen again. And so I'm truly, truly excited today to have the opportunity to present these young men who are so well deserving of these letter jackets. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to call their names out. When we call your name out, if you would, young man, come stand to my left so that Coach can give you your jacket. First up, we have our quarterback, George Barrera. He's right. Can you show him? Next up, we got Mr. Swaggy, Jeremy Bain. Next up, we got Easy Money, Devontae Kivion Goss. I call this guy the little big man. He's played with a big heart. He brings it. Mr. Dylan Howe. That's right. Next up, we got the star of the future, Jalen Hunter. Stepped out. Okay, all right, we got you. Next up, we have Garrett Foster. Next up, we have Chase Jones. Next up, we have the famous Big Money, Jeremy Jones. Next up, we've got the hardest working man in the building, Gabriel Milford. Next up, we have the Gabriel Sandoval. Next up, we have the GQ, Devontae Zuma. And last but not least, the man with the plan, the Romello Watson. Give this young man a round of applause, please. Thank you so much to all of our elders, sponsors, parents, Booster Club members for making that possible. Okay, that is very, very important. That's something they'll have, they'll be able to cherish and look at for the rest of their lives. So thank you so much for all you all that had a hand in making that possible for these young men. We truly, truly appreciate it. Before we go into this next recognition of our seniors and our seniors only to send them out, I just want to take a moment to talk about how football and life work hand in hand. You see, the whole goal of this platform as a coach is to impact and elevate the lives of these student athletes so they can be empowered to move forward in a world and operate at a high level of effectiveness, to be all that they can envision and dream of becoming, and to do it with excellence, with integrity, with value. Our role as a coach is much greater than making it to the playoffs, much greater than winning that state ring. It's simply investing heavily into the future. It's investing in young men that will carry the torch, that will lead the free world that we know it as, and that will do it with excellence, that will do it because they've been groomed, raised, and coaches, mentors, families, communities have poured into them and connected with them to ensure that they can move forward and do everything that they have dreamed of becoming and doing. And that's the privilege of being a coach. And so when I think about our seniors, it really, really touches my heart. Because I know they're one step away, one play away from being in a hateful world that's not going to view them as we celebrate them today. So it's really, really important that as we call these seniors up, we take a good look at them. And maybe you're a business owner. Maybe you're a community leader. I want you to take a look at these guys who are seniors when they come up and receive these awards. I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to help them become successful in their next move? Because see, no one gets there alone. We all have a role in their lives. And just because they're seniors, they're not done. They're simply just beginning. And we'll be looking to them to make the decisions for tomorrow. Ask yourself when you see these young men. These young men who are sitting behind me are some of the brightest minds in America. We sit on the south side of town and often forgotten about. But I'm here to remind you today, you're looking at some guys on this stage that have represented our community well. As a matter of fact, they've been recognized as one of the top 32 schools nationally in terms of their academics. And I say that because we're going to celebrate some guys who will go on to play college football. But even in that number, it's very small. You see, for those who have that opportunity to go play college football once they're done here, that still only represents 5% of their life. 5%. So what we like to focus on here at Seguin with that freshman class, with that junior varsity class, is the 95%. The 95% is the game of life, the ultimate game. It's what they will become and it's how they get there. It's the foundation. It's the tools we empower them with. That's what it's about. So as you see these young men that we're about to call up, ask yourself, who do I know? What can I do? How can I assist? How can I invest? Because whether you know it or not, this is your future. And don't discount it. The next Barack Obama could be standing right behind you right now. Empower you. All right, with that being said, we're going to begin our senior recognition. So seniors, if you would, once I call your name, if you would step up here, Coach Phelps has something for you. Marcus Johnson. Evan Lacey. Jordan Mayhawk. Madison Ridgeway. Deshaun Baker. Jalen Brooks. Keon Cox. Eric Phillips. George Burr. Tyron Webster. DeAndre Paxton. Timothy Aguilera. Nolan Bass. Jason Oforo. Dylan Hampton. Preston Bates. If you would, give these young men a little round of applause. Josh, nigga, that's how you'll get it. Give a round of applause, please. As our seniors begin to speak, there's a part of our tradition that is being created right before us on tonight. As we all know, as we move forward, nothing stays the same forever, and change is part of the inevitable. One of the things that we did this year, and our team MVP made it his business, he wanted to walk out every game with this sledgehammer. We'll get that sledgehammer, let's see it. And the sledgehammer was letting everyone know in the building, in the arena, that we were coming, okay, we were swinging heavy, we were swinging hard, and we were coming to put in work. And work and hard work is what it's all about. It's the foundation for the doors that will be open in the future. And so before Tim leaves, he wants to have a word with this football team and the returning players. And he wants to remind them of what the future needs to look like and what it's like to pass the hammer down. And some would say pass the torch. So this time, I'm going to allow Timmy to have words.
Thank y'all for being here. I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna say it for something. I was at the track meet yesterday, and I was going, and I heard some dudes behind me talking about that's the game. Another dude said, "What about the game?" Said they trash. Said the defense good, but they trash. So it sounded, some part sounded to me wanted to put the pads on him and mouth. But I'm using that to say, like, if that don't get y'all underclassmen or courtesy, some kind of motivation, y'all have, to be honest with y'all have nobody behind y'all. Y'all don't have the students, teachers, they don't believe in y'all. What y'all got is yourselves. That's all y'all gonna ever have, yourself and your coaches. If y'all don't believe, then there's no point nobody else believe. But after the season, you ain't really seen me in the weight room. But when I was in the weight room, I saw this one individual. He was always in the weight room putting in work. So I was eyeing him a little bit. I was looking at him, I was telling him, I wasn't telling him what I was looking at. thinking, like, this dude really working. Like, he really wanted to be somebody. He really wants to be leader of the stand. So I decided to pass the torch down to Maurice O'Kello.